So your person of interest may feel as if they've gone quiet, but they haven't fully disconnected, and there's a reason for it. And I want to do some cards and tell you the reason, and also tell you what's actually going on. This person is very intrigued and very into you. They have not moved on. They have not let go. They have not, I'm trying to think of the words, they have not disconnected. Did I say disconnected before? They have not moved on. They've literally not moved on from you. They don't want to move on. This is the thing that I'm picking up relating to their energy, that they have not and don't want to move on to anyone else. Now, just give me 1 second. I'm going to go and get that card, which has just fallen onto the floor. It just literally went out. And having said that, I've just dropped another one. So I will be right back. And I like the 2 cards that actually it was 3 cards that went flying down. So what's actually going on? Because on the surface, it gives you the impression that they've moved on. And if it doesn't give you the impression they've moved on, you're certainly feeling that. And maybe this is something you're feeling for yourself as well, that this is now the time to let go and move on. On a human part, I don't blame you, because on a human part, when I say human, we're talking about 3D, 5D, I'm talking human 3D. You're not seeing anything. You're not seeing any action. You're not seeing them. You may be in a no contact, no separation, kind of scenario. So for you, it feels like you're just carrying on the best way possible with your life, with not knowing if you're ever going to see them again, if they're coming back, or if they've moved on, or anything of that sort. It feels zilch, that's the word I want to say. And anything, and if you are connected in the sense of group, that's other people you know and also know them, then you might be hearing via the grapevine that this person is just busy with work. They've just put themselves, like you have, into work, into life, into gym, into fitness, whatever distraction you may be seeking, that's what you've done. So it's giving you that impression that actually this person's moved on. They're just doing their own thing, and I need to now do my own thing. But remember what I said to you, that all is not as it seems, because what's actually going on below the surface is a lot of reflection. I know you are also reflecting, but we're talking about them. They are reflecting a lot on how things have been, how they were, how when you were together, whether that was in the proper sense of communication together, or whether that was just where the connection was very alive. You were in the same vicinity, seeing one another, bumping into one another a hell of a lot more, and now it's like zilch. You were the one who was giving a lot more of your energy, your time, your priority, yourself in this connection, and they were just keeping you on the surface, keeping the interest, breadcrumbs. They were feeding you the breadcrumbs, but they weren't giving you the bread. I thought of that last night. There was something else I was talking about, and had that realization that actually it's very much to do with that this person is giving you enough to keep you interested but not fully committing, which is the bread, because then you have the whole thing to give that I am here and I am with you kind of energy. In doing that, it was kind of keeping things alive and giving you that feeling that things were going to be happening, but they weren't. They're still checking up on you. That is 100% a given. So even though you're in no contact, even though you have no idea what's going on, they are still checking up on you, and not in a stalky way, depending on the context that you do take it in. They are maybe checking your social media. They are maybe, as I said, if you are connected via a friends group or, familiar people, they might just be asking about you, how you are, what you're doing, or keeping their ears open in case somebody does casually just mention what's going on, or they bumped into you or anything like that. Whatever way they can at this moment in time find information about you, they are, via the grapevine, via social media, or in some context, maybe they are actually physically just keeping an eye on you. And I do want to highlight that I don't mean that in a stalkish way, even though it feels that way. So they are definitely, as I said, because the interest is there, they haven't moved on. But what we want to know is what happens next, because we know that they haven't moved on. We know that they are still invested in checking up on you. But what happens? There's definitely movement coming. I love that. Because a horse, when it gallops really fast. And this is a person who is ready and wanting to move forward. That basically means they want to. They're coming forward and they're going to express their feelings. Not all in one go, not all in one, session. Here I am, here's how I feel, all of that kind of thing. Of course, it's going to start with the basic of hello, how are you? And then second instance maybe, or they will express, because they know they owe you that. They owe you an explanation. This is not just about, you're not going to settle for less. This isn't about them just coming back and going, hey, how are you? Fancy a coffee? And you're going to be like, why? Why? I keep on getting the words why coming from you, hands shaking, kind of like, and you know what? Respect to you, because that's the kind of energy they deserve. Why should you? Why should you, after everything that you have constantly given them in the past, just roll over and accept that just because they are coming back, that you need to be rolling over, going, yeah, great, so happy that you now want me kind of energy. No. And I love that. This is my hug to you. I love that because you're training them that you are not putting up with their shit. And that is good, because they need to know from the offset. You have learnt a lot of wisdom. Not that you didn't have it, you did, but what you have become is wise. Wise to this connection, wise to their patterns, wise to setting boundaries, knowing that you are no longer going to put up with this shit, knowing that you are no longer going to tolerate this behavior. Other people in their lives may have done. Other people in their lives may, like we do, with siblings, with friends and stuff, we get used to certain patterns and we excuse it. We, turn a blind eye, we don't bother, but, it irritates us, or we go, oh yeah, but that's just so-and-so. That's just who they are. That kind of thing. You're not doing that. You are calling them up on this, on their behavior, on everything that's been going on. The universe is asking you to stay in flow. Don't stress yourself. As hard as that is for me to say, and especially when it's a person going through it, it's so much easier to say than it is to actually follow yourself. But where you can, know that you cannot control this, and the best way of controlling is just to be in the flow. Take it one day at a time. Don't look so much in advance of what's going to be happening next year, next week, next month, next 6 months. Just stay in today. What is happening today? That is all you need to deal with. What do I need to deal with today? And that helps to keep you in that flow. Things are unfolding. Behind the scenes, things are growing, because this is a seedling. This is a seedling that's becoming a plant and it's flourishing. And this is what the universe wants to say, that things are unfolding exactly as they're meant to. Your part in this, and you've played a huge part, because you've suffered a hell of a lot as a result of this. Not saying they haven't, they have, but yours has been more of a, you've taken on your pain, but you've also taken on their pain, because you understand this connection. They don't fully understand it. They're beginning to, they're getting to. They've never had anybody who has made them question their life. Not that you've been standing over them, questioning in that kind of way, but question it in the sense that your energy has triggered that within them. So they know they need to heal. They know they need to step up, because without it, and I do love my pineapple card when it comes up, I always associate this with people's skills. They need to change. They need to grow. They need, because that's what people skills are. It's about learning, isn't it? It's about growing, it's about experience. They need to do that in order to be present in this connection. This person is definitely going to be doing something in the sense of movement, stepping forward, making things happen. Now, if you would like to know more details regarding this and what's going to be happening and how it's all going to be unfolding, you can book a reading with me. The links are in my bio. You can also, if you are into this kind of connection, twin flame, understanding the intricacies, love that word, of intuition connections, what's actually going on between two people when they are caught up in this kind of energy, then I've written a book. Again, the links are in my bio. It's a romantic comedy, so nothing of the heavy stuff, but it definitely explains the dynamics of the energies and what's going on. And with all of those things said, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, because it helps this channel, it helps me, but it also helps people who need to hear this message find this message. And with all of those things said, I will see you next time.